Hi guys, welcome to the February update of the 93-gallon Reef Aquarium. Like my other update videos, I will start off with what has changed in the tank. And from my last video to this one, there's not actually been very much change at all. When I had recorded my last video, I had just put in my yellow tang into this tank. And there haven't been any new additions since then. The only thing that's really new is this feeding apparatus. So if you look in the top left hand corner, I do have, I forget who makes this, but you basically put your algae sheets in here, or your seaweed sheets, and then the tangs can pick at it over time. And I find this actually works really well. So if you do have tangs, or I believe angelfish really like their seaweed as well, you should think about getting something like this. It's a little expensive from what I remember for what it is, but it seems to work well. And what I do is I will put in multiple sheets. So I'll put in maybe 3 or 4 sheets into this, and the tangs will pick at it over 2 or 3 days. If I only put in like 1 or 2 sheets, they go through it really fast. Like maybe in a day, it's already ready to be refilled. And my only complaint with this is based on the way they've done the squares. There seems to be a lot of wastage here. So I would say your tangs may only be getting maybe 50% of the entire seaweed sheet, or between 50 and 60%. So there is a lot of wastage here. If they could design it a little differently, it may be better. However, for our choices we have in this hobby, it's a good product, I think. Other than that, I'm just going to move us over. You'll see in the back there, the clown has decided his new home is by the overflow, which is cool. The thing with clownfish, and I never knew this before I got into the hobby, is for those of you who don't have any, what you're going to find after you get some is that they tend to stay put in one location. So they'll find a place that they really like, and that's where they stay. So I don't really see this guy venturing off very much, not like a lot of other fish species. And what I've said for the fish applies to the livestock as well. I've not added any new coral. There's just no space. Like, look at this thing. I'm just gonna pull it back a little bit so you guys can see. The 2 tangs, when I first introduced the yellow, he was kind of picking on the yellow-eye coal tang. However, I think they have kind of come to an agreement. They understand each other. I don't really notice aggression between the 2 anymore. The yellow might still chase the coal tang from time to time, but I think they're both pretty well fed, and they're pretty happy with each other. So let's go to an overhead shot and see what the tank's like right now. Okay guys, so this is just an overhead shot. I'm sorry about these 2 light pucks here. There's not much I can do about that right now, except I am considering getting one of those attachments that will allow me to put my lens actually in the water. You can see here, I've got some really nice, the coloration, it's pretty good. I don't know if it's actually gotten better, So there's the pink lemonade. But because of the yellow tang, I've been feeding a lot of seaweed. So this tank has been getting a lot more nutrients than it previously did. I think it's handling the nutrients very well. And part of that is just I've increased the amount of light that the macroalgae receives. So the keto, grape chlorpa, all the macroalgae that's in my sump, increase the light, not the intensity, but the duration. So I believe that has helped with keeping the tank relatively algae free. And I think the tang, like the tangs will eat certain types of algae. I do have snails and stuff, so there are things that are... I do have cleanup crew members that are keeping the tank clean as well. So I'm very happy with where the tank is at. One thing you might notice is the blue tenuis is gone. My suction cup has failed. So in defense of RAD Aquatics, I mean, they've been marketing it to their product to freshwater. So I don't know if there's something in the salt that may have made the silicone that sticks to the glass, like not as, the suction cup not as effective. But anyways, the blue tenuis is just sitting on some rock at the bottom for now. It is face up, and it seems to be doing okay there, so I've just left it there. Other than that, as you guys can see from this video, there's not been very much change. I did move the, what is that, Warpaint Bower Banky, because I think it was getting too much flow, and the flesh, it still was, if it wasn't receding, it was not expanding. So it looks a bit happier now that I've put it in a more sheltered spot. This other Bower Banky is, oops. This other guy is doing really well. So instead of receding, he is actually expanding, and I believe his flesh is growing. That's pretty much the tank. So the one point I was trying to make with the additional nutrients is that I've been seeing a pretty crazy polyp extension from a lot of the acros, and I believe it might be due to the increased nutrients. So you'll see from the side view when the power heads are on, you can really see the polyps moving. And also, like I've really noticed this red dragon is starting to come into its own, and it's really growing really fast now. The rainbow loom is doing well as well. So there's the Yagami Tort. He's nice. I wish he had a bit more green in him, but you can really, tell that the purple with the yellow, it's a very nice contrast. Okay guys, we're just going to go to a side view now. So looking at my last two update videos, I noticed I really focus on certain coral a lot. So I'm going to try to show you guys some of the other guys that I don't normally talk about. This is my grafted Monty cap. It's taken, you know, Monty caps are one of the most resilient SPS species, but this guy's taken a surprisingly long time to really establish himself and to grow out. What I'm really excited about him, although he doesn't have the best coloration, he's got a dominant pink color with like a dull green highlights. So now, I mean, there are a lot of really beautiful Monty caps out there. There's the Cold Fusion. What's the other one? I believe the other one's Jason Fox, but it could be WWC. I forget what it's called. Is it like Phoenix cap or something? Anyways, so in terms of grafted caps go, this is probably one of the ugliest, but I like it because he's mine. And what else is there? Okay, I'm gonna show you guys the polyp extensions. So you can see here the pink lemonade that's in focus. You know, it's always had some polyp extension, but I've never seen it like this. And again, I'm tying it to the additional nutrients in the tank. I was watching a video from AmroAzulTV. So he's got a YouTube channel, and in this particular video, he was discussing whether feeding coral is like a gimmick or if it actually does anything. Towards the end of the video, he discusses removing his filter socks, I think to see what kind of effect that would have. And then my daughter kind of interrupted me, so I didn't get to finish that video, but I've always meant to go back and check out what his conclusions are. I do use filter socks. I really don't change them very often. So I think even if I didn't use filter socks, I don't know if it would really make that much of a difference. However, I do recall in his video when he said he wasn't using filter socks that he thought he noticed better polyp extension on his acros. So take that for what it is. I have to go and find that video. If I remember, I will post a link to that video in the description. So that's it for a polyp extension. I like to talk about these stylophoras in the front. So beside the pink lemonade, I do have what's a greenish, or I think people might call it a rainbow stylo. And then to the right is the purple stylo. These two guys have really taken off. And they have a really, to me, a very amusing club shape. They're really stubby. And so for the purple guy, when I look at him, I'm like, well, he hasn't really grown very much. But from over top, I can see, whoa, you know, he's really spread out. And even from this angle now, like I can see that, yeah, he's really grown, and he's growing very well. Let's look at the millies, so you can see for a while there, I think, and I don't know if it was in my head, that the millies didn't have as great of a polyp extension as I was used to. Now it's definitely back, so they're doing well. The rainbow loom, as usual, is doing well, and it's shooting up the heads. But yeah, I'm sorry guys. It seems like in every update video, I'm just talking about how things have grown and how everything's doing well. I've been very fortunate to not have experienced any type of tank crashes so far, knock on wood. And I'm just really waiting for certain pieces to really grow out. And I think you're going to notice in your tanks, certain pieces are just going to do very well in your tank, and other pieces not so well. So whether they're just hanging on but they're not thriving, or they're actually like dying, you know. And I think this all boils down to not just the basic parameters, but I'm sure there are other factors that influence how well certain coral do in your tank. We have to remember that a lot of these coral, they're harvested from different areas, and whoa, just huge bowel movement from the yellow eye coal tang. That's the thing with coal tanks. I've had another one before, and both of them have always had huge bowel movements. So other than that, guys, like there's not really much new for me to share with you guys. What I am gonna do next week is hopefully I will have a video of a tank tour up, and my hope is, well, what's going on here? Sorry, I'm not sure why it's just lost focus. Okay. So next week I'm gonna have a video of a store up, and I do have plans. I'm planning on getting more fish for this tank. With my 75 gallon right now, I do have ideas together. It's just when I'm kind of hesitant to pull the trigger and to, I don't know, like I don't know if I'm gonna have fun if I make that tank, or if it's just gonna be work. Because what's the point of a hobby if it's just gonna feel like work? So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. The only other thing I'd like to add is, like, I'm really happy with the coralline algae that's been growing. It kind of indicates to me that the tank is moving in the right direction. The fact that everything is relatively happy. I do have some trouble with some zoas, so if some of you know some tips or tricks to maybe what I should be trying to kind of get zoas to do better in this tank, I would love to hear it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The only other thing I'd like to show you guys is the strawberry shortcake. It is growing. It is still encrusting, but I'm hoping soon, maybe in the next 1 month, maybe in March, it will start to shoot up some new heads. I do think some of these original branches that I glued to this frag plug, they are thickening. So this guy is spending a lot of energy. He's growing. The only other coral I do have that doesn't seem to be doing very well, or has been hit or miss for me, is right in the middle there. That's actually a Bali shortcake. So it's supposed to be pink with yellow tips, and it was doing fantastic maybe 6 months ago, and then I'm not sure what happened, but it started to bleach a little bit, and then now it seems to be coming back. But oh man, it's a really slow grower in my tank. I'm not sure if other people experience the same thing, but yeah, I'm hoping he's gonna reach a point where he's suddenly just gonna start growing, because it's really nice coral, and it's frustrating to have something for, I've had him for 1 year and 3 months, and he's really not done anything. He has encrusted a little bit out, but not as much as I would expect for 1 year's worth of growth. Okay guys, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you liked it, subs if you loved it. Things are gonna get better next time. There's gonna be more fish coming up for sure. So stick around for that. If you like the saltwater fish, definitely subscribe to this channel, because I believe maybe in the 2 or 3 weeks after this video, we're gonna see some new fish coming up. Okay, take care guys.